Good morning, Elmira. This is M&M Hots. I'm JD Isles, and this is Hidden Landmark History. This is the live history show, well, almost live history show, that I do here in Elmira, New York, usually broadcast Friday at 9 a.m. I have added broadcasts on Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. as well. And as 2026 rolls on, I am going to be expanding even further. But enough about that. So this is a location that a lot of people in Elmira, or a lot of people that know Elmira, this is a familiar place. To be honest, so I'm a transplant. I have never eaten here. I haven't. It is something I am going to do soon, but I didn't want the fact that I have never eaten here stop me from doing the story. And I want you to stay tuned because I think I have a piece of this story that no one else knows and is going to cause a little bit of controversy. Now, aside from that, I will establish another bit of controversy. In my opinion, the only way you should eat a hot dog is with mustard and onions. That's it. That's what I consider a true hot dog. I would love to hear in the comments what you guys think a true hot dog is. But we're at M&M Hots, so we are talking about meat sauce. So M&M Hots opened its doors in 1919, not in this location. It was founded by Andy Petros, which is right here, and he operated it, this is Andy, he operated it with his two sons, Thomas and Peter, right here. Peter was known as Pete. So 1919, very early. It's very early. I'm gonna sit down here. It's very early in the whole meat sauce in the hot dog game. Andy was a Greek immigrant, and I think that's important. I did some historical culinary archaeology. I went to the Library of Congress to research this. I also looked through the Smithsonian Institution's records, and there was a great article actually in Smithsonian Magazine about this specific topic. So where does meat sauce originate from? Well, it's Greek, Greek and Macedonian. Remember, Andy was a Greek immigrant. It is a big part of Greek domestic cooking. Saltsikima, and I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Saltsikima is a Greek meat sauce that is traditionally served over noodles. I mean, spaghetti most of the time. At some point, somebody in North America said, this might work well on a hot dog. Some of the earliest records of people that did this, Wellsville, New York, they had a Texas hot, 1921. Michigan hots were popular in Plattsburgh. Earliest I could find there, 1927. Let's see what else I have. JK Texas Hots, Danbury, Connecticut, 1924. And M&M Hots, 1919. Now, when I started researching this topic, I did ask the familial lineage if they think this location was the first location in North America to serve a hot dog with meat sauce. And their response was, we don't know. I'm telling you that I think M&M Hots has a very good chance of having been, this is it. This might be ground zero, M&M Hots, for meat sauce on hot dogs in North America. I would love to know what you think. So let's quick do the history here. 1919, M&M Hots opens. Andy ran it with his sons, Thomas and Peter. Now he had a third son. Third son name was Bill. Bill was actually the person who ran the M&M Bar and Grill, which was right next door of their original location. But it was a separate institution. Peter liked to be called Pete. Pete took over around 1963. As we know, 1972, the original location was unfortunately destroyed by the 72 flood. Wilda DeHaas, who was a longtime employee, assumed the reins of the restaurant in 1983. Now, at any point, they could have veered from the original vision of this restaurant. The original vision of the restaurant being, simple foods for working class people. That's how it started out in 1919. Wilda never veered from hot dogs, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, onion rings, French fries, the Dutch burger. Tell me if you've had a Dutch burger. She kept to the original menu. She was anchored to tradition. Eventually, the ownership went to her son, Andy Seymour, who let me in this morning. And he kept it to the original as well. Now, in addition to the 1972 flood, the one piece of big history that people will mark time with, of course, was the COVID shutdown. They did shut down during COVID, but they reopened July 9th, 2024. Katie Seymour and Ryan Gallagher are now the people that are doing the day-to-day running of this. So, here's the challenge to all of you. If you've not been here in a while, you should come. When you come back to Elmira to visit, this should be not only your first stop, but your last stop. There is no better way to experience nostalgia than through food. There is no better way to remember your childhood than having a meal that you used to have as a child. So this is a great spot in the history of Elmira, and I'm declaring it. I think this is the first, and I think M&M Hots was the first restaurant in North America to pair hot dogs with Greek meat sauce. I'm JD Isles. This has been Hidden Landmarks. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.